Today, in Church Growth 302, we will examine assimilation, reclamation in church growth, and small groups in church growth. These are taken from Tom Rainer's book entitled The Book of Church Growth, History, Theology, and Principles. We will be examining chapters 28 and 29. You will learn 5 strategies for assimilation in this lesson. We will look at the percent of members a church loses each year. We will examine suggestions for reclaiming the inactive members in your church. And then we'll examine several advantages of small groups. On this slide, we will examine assimilation, 5 strategies for assimilating new members. How can the back door of the church be closed so we don't lose those who enter by way of the front door of church membership? According to Gary McIntosh and Glenn Martin in their book Finding Them, Keeping Them, there are 5 strategies for assimilation. Friendship with other church members is number 1 on the list. Lyle Schaller says that there is considerable evidence which suggests that at least 1/3 and perhaps as many as 1/2 of all Protestant church members do not feel a sense of belonging to the congregation of which they are members. They have been received into membership, but have never felt they've been accepted into the fellowship circle. New members should become involved in ministry in the church. It is important to invite the laity to be involved in ministry as soon as possible after membership. Rainer writes, and I quote, "Ministry involvement, real ministry involvement, is the key to assimilation." Then number 3, small groups of approximately 10 people assist in the assimilation process. Sunday school classes can function as small groups only if they enroll approximately 10 people. Tom Rainer believes that small groups work best in non-churched locations. The importance of vision cannot be overstated as an important way to close the back door. Vision makes new people feel that they are part of something bigger than they are. They feel like a team member, helping to advance the congregation forward toward meaningful fulfillment of the vision. The final key to assimilation is spiritual growth. The deeper the level of discipleship, the more likely assimilation will take place. Now let's examine reclamation. In a given year, 11% of the membership may be lost. 2% die, 3% transfer their membership to another church, and as many as 6% are lost to reversion. Reclaiming those who have drifted away is difficult. Rainer suggests that reclamation is the most difficult type of outreach, and I would agree with that assessment. It seems to me that it is easier to reach lost people than it is to reclaim those who have drifted away. Why do people become inactive? Some negativity usually precedes their leaving. This negativity may be a conflict with another church member. However, the majority of dropouts just walk away because they feel they were never included in the fellowship. It's a difficult task to convince them that the church still cares for them and needs them to return. In an attempt to reclaim these individuals, one must be prepared to hear anger, stories of pain, and hurt expressions from dropouts. Some may just become indifferent. These are easier to reclaim than in the first category that we mentioned. The reason is that they are not hostile or have hurt feelings. They are merely apathetic toward the church. They do not feel the church is that important, so they become uninvolved. How can we reclaim those who become inactive? A systematic effort to visit inactive members can be one way. Those who do this should be trained and prepared for an encounter with anger, pain, and indifference. They should listen more than they talk. They should communicate that the church does care for them. With an individual member, a key to reclamation is finding some area of the church toward which the inactive may not feel indifferent. Perhaps they may be convinced that their children need Christian education, and a place of common interest can be created among the children's ministry. If their children get involved, then it is possible that the parents will follow. I had the opportunity of being engaged with a gentleman from North Carolina who trusted Jesus as his personal Lord and Savior, but it was only because of the bus ministry that our church was involved with. I enlisted his child to ride our Sunday school bus to come to church to be involved in a loving, caring place. After his son had ridden our bus 3 Sundays, I contacted Paul and asked him, "Is your son going to ride this Sunday? We'll come by and pick him up." And Paul said, "No, he will not be riding the church bus again." I asked if we had offended his son in some way or if it had offended Paul himself. And he said, "No, I just realized something. I realized that since you people are picking up my son, that you care a whole lot more about his soul than I do. From now on, I'm going to bring my child to church and attend myself." Small groups may be a good re-entry point for those who are indifferent. It should be noted that inactive members may not be Christians at all. Therefore, evangelistic opportunities may be found among the inactive church members. Chapter 29 deals with small groups and church growth in Rayner's book. For some time, small groups have been seen as a method that can increase spiritual growth, outreach, accountability, and assimilation. The Sunday school is the preferred small group in most Southern Baptist churches. However, it does appear, as stated earlier, that small groups work better in non-church locations. What strengths do small groups meeting away from the church campus have, for example, over Sunday school? Well, number one, a lack of space restrictions. Small groups can meet in homes, offices, schools, or anywhere people gather. This is a decided advantage. The unchurched might be intimidated by a church building, but would be more inclined to meet with others in a neutral location. Second, small groups help develop deeper levels of trust than participants share in Sunday school. Sunday school, by its very nature, seems to be a place to gain mostly head knowledge. The small group, on the other hand, seeks to develop a place where sharing is encouraged and intimacy and trust are developed. Next, small groups promote ministry opportunities and develop friendships among the members of the group. These two factors, ministry opportunities and friendship, are the two most important ingredients in assimilating new members. If attendance is consistent in a small group before one joins a church, then the assimilation process has already begun. Small group members can provide excellent pastoral care. That's number 4 on your list. Small group facilitators and group members can and often do provide excellent pastoral care. One reason for this is that the small number in the group is a manageable unit. The task is not overwhelming. Small groups will be a viable method of outreach, assimilation, and pastoral care for the foreseeable future. In our highly impersonal society, where individuals are lumped together as just another number, the personal touch of the small group will continue to have and appeal. Now let's review what we learned in this session of Church Growth 302. We've examined 5 strategies for assimilation. We looked at the percent of members a church loses each year. We examined suggestions for reclaiming the inactive church member. And last, we addressed several advantages of using small groups. This concludes this lesson for today. I wish you a great day and hope God will bless you richly in the days to come. God bless you.